I officially stopped suggesting their YouTube channel after I saw Stuart answer that question like that. I do not need to be sending people into that kind of garbage. Okay. Wait. Jovan. Listen. The death purity spiral is more or less this. Unless someone is perfect, they cannot be good. So unless someone answers all the FAQs the way you want them to, unless someone gives you the specific things they're against, unless someone ascribes the specific things you want them to ascribe to and affirms the specific things, unless they do all those things, that they can't be good if they're not perfect. Now, do you guys see the issue with that? The issue with that is everyone's out on those sorts of standards. And so if we see Stuart stumble in an answer, that doesn't discount and discontinue their entire apologetics ministry. And I'm telling you, I would have answered that different, right? I think he could have answered that different. So I think what happens is that we allow cancel culture to creep in to the way we perceive folks who we rock with.
Yeah.
Right? So we could argue that it was the church that developed cancel culture. That's a whole nother conversation if we look at what happened in the 80s and 90s. But I think the dangerous part is we see people who are doing generally good work. We find one or two issues we disagree with them on, and then we discount and discard all the good work they do. And that's really, really disappointing, because it's not like he is struggling with whether Jesus is eternal.
He didn't fumble anything.
He didn't fumble anything from an Orthodox standpoint.
Yeah.
It's not like he's struggling with like the virgin birth.
Yeah.
He's not struggling with the bodily resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
He stumbled on something. We all stumble on stuff occasionally. Even Peter denied Jesus, right? Peter and Paul got into it. Yep. After the fact, Peter and Paul got into it, and Peter still struggled as an elder to Paul. Paul and Barnabas got into it. And so this like, I no longer watch this channel, I unsubscribed. Like, man, I just think that is how immature worldly people behave towards these sorts of things. And I would encourage you guys to not throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'd encourage you guys to be able to critically think and wrestle and challenge in ways that are charitable to people, and don't assume that if somebody stumbles or if somebody gets something wrong, then they're just, they are wrong and they're incapable of good. Father's Day sale happening right now. I need all you guys, if you haven't, man, get something for your dad, get something for your stepdad, get something for that father figure in your life.
Earlier I was saying that if you're emotionally stunted, this is a great way to say I love you without having to say it.
Yeah, that's actually a good pitch. It's a good pitch.
Yeah.
You can't use words.
Yeah.
You can't use words. Just get your dad a priest, provider, protector shirt.
Once a year, you can communicate that you love them by physical products.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Yeah. So priest, provider, protector stuff available now. Prayer journal on sale for $19.99. All that great stuff. If you don't have the Blessed God prayer journal, if you don't have some of the merch, go scoop it up. Biggest sale of the year.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really sad thing. And I only know this because I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of that. I know what it's like to stumble. I know what it's like to make a mistake. I know what it's like to not have all the assets and all the information and all the argumentation for a thing, and to fall short in that, and then have people say, oh, I'm unsubscribing and I'm never watching to you again.
Yep.
And that's a very dehumanizing approach in terms of people who are really attempting to go out, live their life. I mean, they're going on universities. They're sometimes putting their physical like their physical bodies on the line for the type of content they're creating.
Yeah.
And so they're going out and doing these things, and to just be like, you're a commodity. You don't accurately represent everything I think. Yeah. And because you stumbled on this thing, I'm going to discard and move on. Like, that's a really not okay way to approach stuff.
Yuck.
And I would just encourage our community, the people that rock with us, to not have that, because here's the deal. At some point, I'm going to say something you disagree with. Mm-hmm. At some point, I may even do something that's wrong. It's happened before. We had our liquid death debacle.
You felt like you're wrong?
I was drinking liquid death. I didn't see a problem drinking liquid death. All my Demon Slayer friends said you can't catch a demon through liquid death. I wasn't as tapped in as I should have been regarding their satanic marketing efforts.
Oh.
And when I found that out, I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to support this organization. Not because I think I'm going to catch a demon through drinking water, but because I just don't want to deal with a organization that deals.
That thinks that's cute.
That think that's cute.
Yeah.
So I then stopped drinking liquid death, right? And there were people that were like, I'm subscribing. I'm never watching you again. It's like, okay. Or maybe you should just like allow people to fall sometimes and believe that the Holy Spirit is in them and that God will work it out and God will correct them. And they have people in their real life and real friends and real community and real church accountability. And that you don't have to always agree. And sometimes people may even be wrong.
Yeah. And I would also like to add, he wasn't wrong in any means, because he answered the question, if God was proven to not exist, would you still believe in a God? And he said no. Mm-hmm. The only reason he was wrong was from a debate technique standpoint, which was redirect a question that is illogical to something new.
Yes.
That's what I thought was funny about the Cliff, because Cliff is a pro debater, right? Mm-hmm. I spared the master. And because I have respect for them, I love them. And he reframed the scenario.
Yes.
But Stewart, he didn't do it. He didn't preach a false doctrine. He didn't preach anything heretical. He just answered an illogical question, which was, if God was proven to not be real, would you still believe in a God, even if it wasn't real? And you're like,
that's a stupid question.
It's a stupid question, but the answer to that is like, why would I believe in something that was proven not to be real?
Yes.
So in that sense, yeah, I wouldn't believe there's a God.
Yes.
But the proper thing to do in those scenarios is redirect it to something that's actually logical, which was what Cliff did. So he actually didn't. So even on a Christian level, didn't do anything wrong. Doesn't need to be rebuked. Just needs to learn more debate techniques from his dad, who's a pro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that just bummed me out. Father's Day sale happening right now. I need all you guys. If you haven't, man, get something for your dad. Get something for your stepdad. Get something for that father figure in your life.
Earlier, I was saying that if you're emotionally stunted, this is a great way to say I love you without having to say it.
Yeah, that's actually a good pitch. It's a good pitch. Yeah. You can't use words.
Yeah.
You can't use words. Just get your dad a priest, provider, protector shirt.
Once a year, you can communicate that you love them by physical products.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Yeah. So priest, provider, protector stuff available now. Prayer journal on sale for $19.99. All that great stuff. If you don't have the Blessed God prayer journal, if you don't have some of the merch, go scoop it up. Biggest sale of the year. All right. Later. Love you guys. Peace.